Hey, good afternoon. Hey, welcome to Business Planning 2020, or anytime really, with Eisenhower Coaching and Consulting. I'm your host, Brad Baldwin, and I'm excited to bring this webinar to you live. Who is Eisenhower Coaching and Consulting? For those of you that don't know us, we are one of the top coaching and consulting firms in the real estate industry. We coach most of the teams in the top 500 Real Trends rankings. My name is Brad Baldwin, and I am the head coach and program director over here at ICC. You can find us real quickly by giving us a call at 805-980-7027, 805-980-7027, or check us out on the web at therealestatetrainer.com. And you can call us, email us, anything that you have troubles with. If you have some questions about this webinar, you have questions about anything in your business, whether you're a client or not, we're here to help you grow your business and get more business. And number one, what we're going to do today is help you reach your 2020 goal. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into who are we talking to today. Yes, we coach a lot of big teams. Like I coach a team that's going to do 3,000 units this year, right? But we also coach brokers. We also coach a lot of brokerages all over North America. We coach solo agents. We coach ISA teams. We coach productivity coaches or sales managers. So this webinar really is for everybody, not just a team and not just a solo agent. So I'm going to be covering a little bit of both aspects about this. Now, we're here to make our business plan, okay? And let me tell you what I see a lot, just being around coaching and training now for over a decade, is I see a lot of people, and they make business plans, and they're like this thick, right? And they're like color-coded, coordinated, they're laminated, they got their logo on them and everything. We've got some of the smartest desks in the country, because most of the time that business plan or your notes from that seminar or everything go in your desk and you never look at them again. That's what happens when you don't simplify things. If you're a team leader right now or a broker owner, leaders always simplify things. They never make it complicated, right? And if you've been following us here at Eisenhower Coaching and Consulting and therealestatetrainer.com, you know that most of the things that we teach are very simple. Sometimes they're not easy, but very, very simple, okay? And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a one-sheet business plan, okay, and we're going to keep it on one piece of paper, and it's going to be in front of us all the time, and it's going to be very simple and easy to act on. I'm going to do my webinars a little bit different. Sometimes you're going to see me talking. Sometimes I'm going to be sharing the screen, but most of the time I'm going to be sharing the screen, and there's going to be plenty of time for questions and answers. Just before I start sharing my screen, if you can hear me and everything I'm saying, just type yes into the chat box. Just want to make sure that you can hear us. Okay, great. Okay, I've seen, okay, wow. Woo! Man, there's so many people on here. This is exciting. This is awesome. All right, so yeah, we've got so many people listening. All right, so let's just jump right into it. In your materials, if you registered for this webinar, you should have got a PDF with all the materials. If you didn't, don't worry about it. We will send you the materials. If you're watching this maybe on YouTube or Facebook Live or something like that, and maybe you didn't get the materials and you want them, you're watching this maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, just drop us a line again, hit us up with an email. We'll be happy to get you the materials. I want everybody to succeed. All right, guys, so let me share my screen, and we're going to walk through how to do a business plan. And if you're following along, print out your materials and take some copious notes. We're going to do some questions and answers at the end. I'll answer any questions that you might have. So, guys, let's just jump into it. Let me share my screen. All right. So this is our single-page business plan, and in your materials, you should have this. You should have a sample of what we call a solo agent business plan. You probably don't have a calendar. We'll get into that in just a second. And you also have a team business plan, okay, and you also have this called action step business plan. All right, so we're just, for the purposes of this video, and we're just going to jump into the solo agent business plan. And I'll sprinkle some team things in there, and if you're a team, we can talk about it later. If you're a solo agent, we're going to talk about it later. But most of the people in here will get the idea of what we're doing. So let me jump right over here to our sample plan. Okay, now, like I said, it's on one sheet of paper. I mean, it doesn't get any more simpler than this, folks. First off, let's put our name, Brad Baldwin. Okay, that's my name. And then let's start off with our annual goal. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting, is you want to think about your goal being what we call a SMART goal. And SMART is not like intelligent SMART. SMART is an acronym, okay? And what it stands for is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Okay, SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And what we want to do is set a SMART goal for next year. Now, let me give you an example of what that SMART goal might be. Let's say that this year you're going to end up around 30 units closed. Pretty respectable year. I mean, that's awesome. 30 units closed. If you're setting a goal for next year, you might say, oh, I want to do 200 units next year. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but let's get realistic. You're right now saying solo agent, you have no team, you don't have that much systems, you're just doing what you are. For you to go from 35 to 200 is a little bit unrealistic, okay? We got to be realistic, okay? Let me also give you an example of what maybe not to do. Hey, my goal this year is to take my family on vacation for a month. Man, now, as great a goal that is, I think that's awesome, but yet it's not specific. It's not measurable, and it's certainly not something that you can measure, okay? It's not measurable. What we're going to do is we're going to set a SMART goal. So here at ICC, we like to push to grow your business anywhere from 50% to doubling it. If you look on average, most of our coaching clients, they're increasing their business on average probably around 37% year over year over year. That's a very respectable number, right? So let's say that we did 35 units this year, and we're going to increase our business by 40%. Okay, that's going to bring us up to 49 units. Might as well round it up to 50, right? So 35 to 50 units, that's a big push. Let's just take the math on that, for instance. Let's say you got an average commission check of $7,500, okay? So we're going to take 50 plus 35, 15 times 7,500. That's an additional $112,500 a year. That's a lot of dough, man, for anybody. So increasing your income by over $100,000 just in this first year, and then we're going to take that goal and we're going to increase it by 40%. Then we're going to take that goal and increase it by 40%. We're going to take that goal and increase it by 40%. And year over year over year over year, eventually you'll get there. And sometimes you can grow a lot faster. It's a lot faster to get from like 200 to 1,000 than to get from 100 to 200. And certainly from 35 to 50, man, that is where the work is. So that 35 units to 100, that's where the work is involved. It's much easier to get up when you're above 100 units. That's just people and systems and leads. So that's not a hard thing to do. But this here, 35 to 50, that's a pretty good jump. So let's get back to our business plan. So I'm going to say I will do 50 units, and we'll take 50 times 7,500, our average commission check, for $375,000 GCI by 12/31/2019. Okay, awesome. That's our goal. I will do 50 units for $375,000 GCI by 12/31. Oh gosh, I'm already doing it, guys. 2020. Okay. Hold on one second. We got just a couple people in the chat box here. Can I make changes on the business plans halfway through the year? Do I need to involve the entire team in creating the business plan? Both. Okay. Great questions. Can I make changes to the business plan halfway through the year? Maybe. Okay. Let's just say Zillow called you and man, they're running a special on your zip code, right? And you should say, okay, look at my business plan and where does this fit into my business plan, right? Does my business give me permission to increase my ad spend on Zillow? Right? Where does this fit my 135? What am I going to get rid of in case I have to insert Zillow? Okay, so you use the business plan as a gauge to determine what you change and what you don't change. And maybe you're doing really, really, really good and the 50 units is no problem. Well, we can always raise the goal. Okay, that's not going to be a problem. And do I need to involve my entire team in creating the business plan? Absolutely, yes. They are your partners in your business. And this is something that you can do culturally with your team. You must have your whole team there. I would rent a space and spend like 2 days locked in a room, getting messy, get some food, and man, come together as a team and let's create a business plan together, because your ideas might not be the only ideas. Another leadership point for you: do not be the smartest person in the room. All right, so our annual business goal, 50 units for $375,000 in GCI by 12/31. Now, we need 3 key focus areas to get that goal, okay? Now, this is where you might want to take the SMART acronym off the table for just a minute. These 3 key focus areas need to be something that's pretty broad, but yet specific, okay? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Three key focus areas, okay? This is an example of what maybe not to do. Is say, my focus area is going to be on Facebook, just Facebook, nothing else, just Facebook. Well, that's a little specific, right? Increase my social media presence on all channels. That might be a focus area, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Let me give you just some broad things that you might want to consider putting in your business plan at this level. And 3 key focus areas. The first one might be lead generation. That would be a good one to have. Always SOI database. The guy doing $3,500 or 3,500 units a year, 60% of his deals are coming from his SOI database, right? His team's SOI database. They got a huge database, and the SOI database is always, always, always on our business plans, almost going to be the foundation of everything, okay? So it's something that you always want to look at. Now, this guy's going to 50 units, so I think that maybe his listing skills and systems might want to go on here, okay? So we got lead generation in my SOI database. We got listing skills and systems. The third one, from going to 35 to 50, we're probably going to have to hire an administrative assistant of some sort, right? So I would want to say hiring an assistant by the end of Q1, okay? Quarter 1. Okay, so by the end of March, we better have that assistant in place so we can get them trained, okay, in the first 100 days after they're onboarded. So by the time gathering season comes around, man, that May, June, July, when everything's just on fire, man, this assistant's already trained. We got them hired. They're ready to go, right? And so that's something that you might want to look at. So those are 3 key focus areas. Maybe if you're a team out there, we might look at, again, hiring, leverage. You know, who do we need to hire? What job descriptions do we have to have, and that sort of thing. We also might look at our online presence. That might be a key focus area. We might look at our buyer side of our business. You know, a lot of big teams, we need to be focused a little bit more on our buyer side. Usually it's all listings, but maybe we have an opportunity to get better on our buyer conversions and our buyer side business. It could be whatever you want. Just make it a little bit broad. As you can see, lead generation to my SOI is specific, but yeah, that's a pretty broad topic. And so is listing skills and system, and so is hiring assistant by the end of Q1. So right down here, you just type it in here, lead. And I'm for the sake of time, because I don't want to write all this stuff down, because I want to keep this short and sweet, let you all get back to selling more business. You're going to get the gist of it here, though, okay? So my SOI database. We got to go back to SMART, okay? So we're smart, and then the 3 key focus areas, maybe we're not so smart. And then, okay, on the objectives, we got to go back to SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based, all right? So SOI, here's an example of what not to do. Get more referrals, okay? That's not specific at all. I don't even know what that is. That's good, it's realistic, but it's not specific, can't measure it. Here might be the example of what to do. right? I will have my 40 contact plan completed and automated with my CRM by December 31, 2019. Okay. I don't know. I don't spell automated. I went to public school, so please forgive me. I will have a 40 contact plan completed and automated with my CRM by December 31st, 2019. Okay. Now that is a very specific goal. It's something that we can measurable. It's achievable. It's relevant, and it's time-based. All right. Let me give you another example of something you might want to do with your SOI. I will increase my SOI database this year by adding 5 people each week, equaling a increase. I think you're supposed to put an in there. I'm a seller, not a speller. Okay, so I know that drives some of you SC behavior is crazy, but the high D's, you get it. So I will increase my SOI database this year by adding 5 people each week, equaling an increase in my database to 250. Okay. All right. So that's very specific. That's measurable. That's achievable. That's relevant. That's actionable, right? And we know that this person, when he's creating this business plan, they know that that's very important to keep increasing the size of your SOI database. You know, those of you that are coaching with us know that you all get a 7-to-1 return ratio on that SOI database. So if we increase it by 250, man, that's going to mean that we're going to sell an extra 36 homes, probably not this year, but probably setting up 2021. We're going to have that SOI database already be talking to it. And that's going to give us an extra 36 deals in the next year, 2021. So increasing the size of your database is always important. All right. Here's might be another one. I will increase my social media presence. Okay. In Facebook, Insta, Snap, YouTube every day. Okay. I will increase my social media presence by posting in Facebook, Insta, Snap, and YouTube every day. And I'm not going to type it all out because I'm a high D and this is driving me crazy. But you get the point of it. I will increase my social media presence by posting in Facebook, Insta, Snap, and YouTube every day. Okay. Number 4, I will have 4 client events this year. Like I will have 4 client events this year. That might be one specific for SOI. So let's just jump over here to listings real quick. Listing skills and systems. The objective that you might have in here is if you're going to do 50 units, you probably need to take 50 listings. So that's taking the listing every week. I'm going to be nice to you and give you 2 weeks off. All right. So that's taking the listing every week. So I will take a listing every week. Okay. Maybe another one is I will attend 3 listing appointments each week. Maybe another one would be I will practice my listing presentation 1 day each week with my role play partner. Maybe the 4th one here is I will create an inventory pipeline system by 12/31 to make sure every listing either sells or gets reduced every 2 weeks. That's a good one, right? You might say in here, hey, I will hold 1 next level open house on every new listing using the ICC open house system. Okay, that's specific, it's measurable, it's something you might want to do. But that's pretty specific. Okay, you notice here when I'm doing my objectives, I always put in there, I will, I will, I will. It's an affirmation to yourself, even as you're making a business plan and reviewing this document, that you will do something. Okay, I will do this. I will do this, right? Okay, in the focus area, it's hiring, okay, hire an assistant by the end of Q1. And I'm not going to type it all out because, guys, you get the idea. Take this, put it here, then you have it, okay? Because I want to make sure that we run within your schedule here. Maybe the first thing that we want to do is I will create a job description and a first 100 days onboarding program by January 31, okay? It's pretty cool. Maybe another one is I will place my ads in Indeed.com, announce on social media, call all my raving fans and past clients, and run an ad on Craigslist. Okay, that might be number 2. We might come down to number 3 and say that, hey, I will time block to review 20 resumes daily and send 1 disc assessment daily. You might come down here to number 4. It says I will time block 2 hours for in-person interviews 3 times a week. This guy's going to be a busy guy, man, or gal. Hey, 3 listing appointments a week and 3 interviews, man, not going to get much sleep. But, hey, dude, that's part of it. When you're hiring someone, you're going to have to work longer hours. That's just it. So you get that person hired, then you get your life back a little bit. So you want to make sure that everybody that is in your world when you're at this point in your business is on board. Hey, you're not going to see me much. Like, it's going to be a minute. Like, I'm going to be working nights, I'm going to be working some weekends. I'm going to be crazy for a little bit. But once I get that person hired back, hey, I can go ahead and breathe again. You got to get messy, and then you get clean, then you get messy, and then it gets clean, and then it gets messy, and it gets clean. It's an ongoing cycle, but each time you're going up every time you hit a ceiling. And I love this one. Hey, I will create a 30, 60, 90-day review-based review system. Oh, there it lets me edit on the very last one. Cool. Review system, okay. I will create a system for a 30, 60, 90-day review system with the ICC training module 5 and higher. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys. So basically now you get an idea. Make them specific. Make it something that says, if I focus on this objective, will this hit the focus area that will hit me to 50? I think it will. Hey, if I attend 3 listing appointments each week, I'm bound to list 1 home, right? If I focus on that, that's going to fulfill my listing skills and systems, okay, to make sure that I get 50 units. Right? Hey, if I will create a job description and a first 100 days onboarding program by January 31st, by doing that, that is going to be an objective that if that focus on hiring will get me to the 50 units. So as you can see, it's very, very simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. Now, what do you do once you get your business plan? How do you put it into action? Well, there's a couple ways to do that. The first thing that we like to do, and again, guys, there's samples here that you can read that is in your materials that shows it a little bit more. It doesn't have any spelling errors and things like that. So go ahead and refer back to that to give you a little bit more specifics on it. But what we like to do is we like to come over here and say, all right, the action steps in the business plan. Now, teams, listen up. This is for you, right? Because a solo agent, who and when, a lot of that is going to be you. And in our business plan, we've kind of already decided when. But let's just say for an example, we have that if you remember the one, hey, I will create a job description and first 100 days onboarding program. Okay, remember that one? Okay, now if you're the rainmaker, you are not going to be typing out a job description, and you're certainly not going to be typing out the first 100 days. We need a who for that. Who in your team is going to do that? Maybe it's your assistant, Bobby Lou. So Bobby Lou, that's who's assigned to it, by January 31 is going to complete that task. Okay. Now back down here on interviewing. Okay. Now if you're interviewing new people, okay, that might not be Bobby Lou. That's probably going to be the rainmaker. Okay. So that might there, you might say who and when, put some times next to it, put some dates. All right. And go, what I always suggest is you go and print out one of these calendars. I just got this free off of Google today, actually. And all you do is take this and just go through the whole year and mark out your vacations, mark out holidays. It's amazing to me. July 4th happens every July 4th. It's mind blowing, right? But every time we get to July 4th, it seems to be this big stressor. Well, it's coming, guys. It's going to be July 4th, every July 4th, right? So, and those of you in Canada, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying. You all have your Labor Day, Thanksgiving, when we have Labor Day, so it's all good, man. And it comes about the same time every year. So anyway, you get the point. Run through your calendar and say, all right, or let's just use January, for example. Let's just map out January. But let's just say here, hey, on my business plan there, what on this needs to get done in January? And if it's broad, maybe we just go ahead and we start breaking it down in steps. Like, you can't do it all in a month, but take it and break it down in steps to where you can make sure that when you're in January, you can do that. Like, complete 4-agent websites for sellers, buyers, neighborhood, farm, and blog, right? So maybe in January, we need to complete the agent website for sellers. Now, what would we want to do on that? Maybe we need to research companies. Maybe we need to research a topic. Maybe we need to research different costs and things. Maybe we have to look at our budget, whatever that might be. Write all that down, and then you go to your calendar and you think about what you want to get accomplished that month, put it in here, and then that goes into your schedule. Okay. So when do you review your business plan? You review it every week, and especially every month, and say, what do I need to get accomplished? And start laying out your months based on this calendar. Okay. All right, guys. So we're reaching the bottom of the hour, and I promised you this would only take about 30 minutes. Hey, there's my business plan. So yeah, like, hey, I will have I will increase my SOI database this year by adding 5 people. So I would go to the calendar and I'd say, all right, how many days am I going to work? Okay. I'm going to mark out the days that I'm going to work. Probably not going to work the 1st. Maybe I have a family event on the 16th, whatever. And then count up the days you are going to work. Okay. Then say, all right, I'm going to add that. I got to add 5 a day. Remember, if we got add 5 each week. I'm going to count up the days, do the math, and then say, hey, I'm going to add this many SOI contacts in January, right? And now it goes in per day. Now it goes into your schedule, and now it exists. I hope that makes sense. If it didn't make sense, this is a great time to be asking some questions. Man, you guys got, whoo. So many questions. All right. So, okay. Amy from Ohio says, what specific steps should I be taking weekly, monthly as the team lead to offer consistent structure and support to team members? Great question. So every week we should be having a team meeting. Okay. We have a team meeting, and at that team meeting, we want to pull out our 135 business plan. We also want to use our scoreboard, okay? And I'll get to that in just a second. So we want to use our scoreboard, which has all of our numbers and all of our what we're doing, all of our lead measures and lag measures. If you ever read the book 4 Disciplines of Execution, I think it's by Stephen Covey. It's by his son now. I don't know his son's name, but 4 Disciplines of Execution. You'll see in there, it talks about lead and lag measures. That's a scoreboard. So what can I be doing specific is you're looking at your scoreboard, you're looking at your 135 business plan, right? And you're offering constant structure through that. So let's go back to our job descriptions, okay? And we're going to have Bobby Lou. I'm sure that's not, it might be your assistant's name. I don't know. I never assume. But hey, Bobby Lou is your assistant, right? We might go to that team meeting and say, hey, part of our 135 is we got to get job descriptions for the new ISA job that we're going to be hiring this year. And one of the things I'd like you to do is take that on, right? And so it's on our 135. We assigned it to Bobby Lou. And next week at the team meeting, that's something that you want to check into. Hey, Bobby Lou, how'd you do on the job descriptions? Well, I got like super busy this week. Really? Okay. Well, tell me what got in the way? Well, we had, 15 closings and I just got nuts and just didn't do it. Right. Well, hey, what will you do different this week, Bobby? Well, I do have some time blocks that I could use. All right, great. What days are those? Well, I have some time on Tuesday. Great. Well, how would you like for me to support you as your team leader? How would you like me to support you as your leader in helping you do this? Man, you know what? I'm really kind of confused on what you want me to do. You know what? Well, let me pull out my schedule, and I'll meet you Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And I can't do the whole thing for you, but how about I spend 15 or 20 minutes with you and show you kind of exactly what I need? Would that help? Yeah, that would totally help. All right. Now you got structure. Now you're supporting that person. Okay. And the same thing with maybe your buyer agent. Maybe they're off on their scoreboard or something like that. Keep asking those questions, and that weekly team meeting is going to be the glue that holds it all together. Great question, Amy. Rick Rose. Okay. Rick Rose, in the business for 30 years. Awesome, man. When really stroking, I was on 2 to 3 listing appointments per day. How do I get a massive amount of listing leads in the new marketing era? Awesome question. The same way that you did it 30 years ago, Rick. There is no new tricks out there. Okay, well, maybe there's a few tricks. I coach a person in Colorado Springs. I guarantee she's the best listing agent in the country, because she's going to take 140 listings this year, and she's going to go on 138 listing appointments. And it's one person, okay? It ain't a team, it's one gal, and she's awesome. And the reason that her conversion ratios are that tight is because she records every listing presentation that she goes on at every single appointment. She's an absolute rock star. I don't know where we came up with that term, rock star, but she's awesome, okay? And I asked her, I said, listen, where are you finding all these listing leads? Well, she's finding them from her SOI database, referrals and what have you, expired listings, for sale by owners, and she's also using a little bit of technology, right? She's using something called a ClickFunnels. A ClickFunnels is something that you go on Facebook, okay? And if you ever see those ads on Facebook where it has a message and then you click it and then it goes to another message and then you click that and then you get some information and then you get emails, that's called a ClickFunnels, all right? So what they do is they run a ClickFunnels, okay, for a home valuation lead. Right? Now, do they get leads from that? Absolutely. Is it their main source of leads? No. SOI database, expired listings, prospecting for sale by owners. That's always the main, okay, for that particular person, for a lot of people, right? But yeah, you can add in things like ClickFunnels. You can add in things like home valuation pages. You can add in things like farming, okay, farming to a neighborhood with a home valuation page where they could get on a website, click in and get their information. There's not a whole lot of new tricks. It's being consistent in the activities. Activities-based will always outproduce the tricks. I hope that answered your question, Rick. We've got time for one more. Oh, this is great. All right, so Julie in Las Vegas. Should the business plan be number-based or vision-based? Awesome. Both. You want to create a vision that means something to you. What does that 50 units mean to you, really? Like, what's that going to do for you as a person? If you have a family, what's that going to do for your family? If you're single, what's that going to do for you? Maybe it's something for your parents. Maybe it's something, who cares? But there's got to be a why attached to that 50. So it is vision-based, but yet we can't measure vision. We can only measure numbers. That's why we always say to track your numbers. Track your numbers. Okay, guys, so we are running now just a little over 30 minutes. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for the questions. They were awesome. We have the replay of this webinar, okay, attached to this awesome new business course where we dive into not only the 135, but we also are going to dive into the budget model. We're going to dive into team organizational structures. We're going to dive into the scoreboard and how to use a scoreboard at your team meetings. We're going to dive into team lead generation systems, and you can get a 40% discount code just for being a part of the webinar and learning today. And I hope this helped you. Again, if you have questions about this, if you want just talk to me, just holler. I will take all the time in the world to talk to you. It might be at 9 o'clock at night, it might be on Saturday when I'm not on a coaching call or doing something, but I'll get back to you. I want to talk to you and help you out. 805-980-7027. Or info, that's info at EisenhowerCoaching.com. So if you want more information on this course here, on this webinar, any of our courses on our online learning center on therealestatetrainer.com, or if you want more information on our one-on-one coaching program, we would love to help you out. So again, guys, I hope that you got something out of this webinar today. I hope that you make a 135 today. We got to do it before the bell drops, guys. We got to do it. Right now is the time to do it, because you might need something. You might be that guy that, oh man, I got to get my CRM organized by January 1st. Yes, you do. You don't want to be doing that in January, right? So get it done this week. You got questions, holler at us, and we'll see you next month. We're going to be doing these webinars every month on different topics. It's going to be an awesome series this year. So guys, until next time, I'm Brad Baldwin with Eisenhower. Live fierce.